Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 5 of your core seminar in business administration. This week's topic is business ethics, and we will introduce various concepts which will supplement this week's assignments and activities. So, ethics is the study of moral obligation involving the distinction between right and wrong behavior, whether an action is fair, right, or just. Business ethics refers to principles and standards that determine acceptable conduct in business. These are some factors which influence ethical behavior in business. So things like truth, honesty, social responsibility, good behavior, law-abiding behavior, and also not misleading others all contribute to business ethics. So why is the topic of business ethics so important in today's business environment? In order for entrepreneurs to create a business or for leaders to successfully maintain the operation of their businesses, it is essential that strong relationships are established with vendors, investors, customers, and partners. The parties involved in these relationships may not possess the same values as the business leader, the customers, or their society. These differences frequently generate conflicts that call into question the entrepreneur's ability to remain within his or her ethical boundaries or reestablish those boundaries at a different level. Additionally, the current economy with its global markets imparts additional societal and cultural norms which must be factored into the leader's ethical considerations. So capitalism itself is based on a voluntary exchange between organizations and their customers. And there's a certain amount of implicit trust in that relationship. And this actually provides the ethical foundation of business. Now, conscious leaders are obligated to behave ethically. And usually, these ethical business decisions made by these business leaders are being made using increased leader consciousness. So, your ethical leader conduct is actually amplified through their communication with others, through their decision making, and also through reinforcement with all stakeholders. Conscious leaders take their ethical beliefs into consideration as they make decisions concerning the improvement of their organization and of society. So, ethical leadership actually suggests that a leader's ethical life is an expression of his or her overall development as a human being. And it involves attaining the full ethical potential of one's life, living in harmony with the universe as a whole. So, ethical leaders are individuals who have raised their consciousness and integrate their inner and outer worlds in all that they do. Thus, they establish ethical cultures to contribute to the better good of others or all living things. So, there are findings from a recent study which suggest that leaders with a world centric view are ethical and conscious about the way they think, feel, and act. World centric leaders have a desire to be of service and experience ethics as heartfelt. Such individuals have a heightened self awareness and a broader perspective. They have an innate desire for and commitment to continuous development and a spiritual core. In addition, world centric leaders look for organizations that are congruent with their guiding values and seek formal and informal support and trusting relationships to enhance their development. However, the successful creation of a culture that develops and sustains ethical, conscious leaders and leaders with a world centric view depends on the integrity and moral character of its leaders and organizational members. So, how do you determine the ethics of a situation? So, first of all, you have to recognize ethical issues. So, an ethical issue is an identifiable problem, situation, or opportunity that requires an individual to choose from several actions that may be determined as right or wrong, as ethical or unethical. So, you need to determine the ethics of the situation by examining the situation from a stakeholder position, which also includes the customers and competitors. So now let's try to tie the four pillars of Dominican life into what we're talking about here with ethics. So just to refresh your memory, the four pillars are prayer, ministry, community, and study. So thinking about these pillars, can you describe how you can, if any of these Dominican pillars can be used to effectively assess the ethics of a situation? And how can they be used to assess the ethics of the situation? And then we have some questions for you to reflect upon this week. The first is, what can be done to accelerate the development of ethical, conscious leaders and conscious businesses in order to create a sustainable future for the next generations? And also, how can the Dominican pillars be incorporated into this plan? So that's all we have for this week's discussion. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your week.